morning everyone, my name is Rachel. Welcome back to my channel. Today I am bringing you guys a reading vlog, which I haven't done one of those in a while. Like, this feels very kind of rusty for me doing this, but this is going to be for the weekend edition of the historical romance readathon that is being hosted by Jess from Peace Love Books, Lisa from Remarkably Lisa, and Lacey from Lacey Book Lovers. I'm going to put all of their information down in the description below. I highly recommend all of their channels. They are some of my absolute favorite romance booktubers. So with this readathon, it's only going to be 3 days from today, which is August 14th, to Sunday, which is August 16th. And there is a bingo board. I'm going to put the graphic over here. I'm gonna be upfront with you guys in that I'm not following this bingo board like to the letter. I'm not trying to do like all of the prompts or complete a bingo or anything like that. But it is something fun to kind of go by when picking your TBR. So I thought I would first talk about all the books that are on my TBR. I have a little stack of 4 books here. All right, so the first book in this stack I have is Scandalous Desires by Elizabeth Hoyt. I did start this late last night, so I'm already on page 106, which according to my Libby app is about the 28% mark. I do have the audiobooks for all 4 of these books because I am planning on doing a lot of cleaning this weekend. So it'll be great for me to get some listening done while I'm also cleaning my room and my bathroom. But I'm already really enjoying this. I've never read an Elizabeth Hoyt novel before, but this is essentially a pirate romance. So we have our main characters, Mickey O'Connor and Silence Hollingbrooke, and this is from Elizabeth Hoyt's Maiden Lane series, which centers around the ghost of St. Giles, who is like this vigilante. He wears a mask so nobody knows who he is. I think this series as a whole covers all of these different men that are the ghost of St. Giles, so it's not just one person. We have our main character Silence. She is a widow. Her husband passed away the year before, and then we have Mickey, who is a pirate. And this is kind of a second chance romance because a year before, right before Silence's husband passed away, Mickey had her spend the night at his house, but like nothing happened, but he made sure to make it look like something happened. It's not really clear why he did that. So she kind of hates him. And a year later, she's actually been taking care of his daughter. His daughter's like 2 years old. And because Mickey has several enemies, one of them being this man known as the Vicar. He's not really a vicar. He's just like this evil dude who goes by that name for some reason. This guy has threatened Silence and Mickey's daughter's life, and so to protect them, he's having them live with him at his house. So this is definitely like a forced proximity story. Kind of gives me Beauty and the Beast vibes because he lives in this very opulent mansion and Silence doesn't take any of his shit. Like, anytime he demands that like she take supper with him or like stays in her room, she just doesn't listen, and it's really frustrating for him, but it's also really funny. I don't know what it says about me that I always enjoy romances where the heroine is kind of forced to live with the hero. I mean, I've always loved the Beauty and the Beast story, so I'm sure that's it, but yeah. I am really enjoying Elizabeth Hoyt's writing style, and the story is really good so far, so I will keep you guys updated about this book as I keep bringing it today. And then as for the other 3 books that I have in this stack, the first one I have is It Happened One Autumn by Lisa Kleypas. One of the prompts for this readathon was reading a Lisa Kleypas novel, so I did just add this onto my TBR. This is book 2 in her Wallflower series. I read book 1, which is Secrets of a Summer Night, I want to say like 3 or 4 months ago. It was okay, but I knew going into that book that I wasn't going to love it because even people that like adore everything that Lisa Kleypas writes did not really like that book, so I already knew going into it it wasn't going to be great. So this series centers around these 4 women who are wallflowers. They're all really good friends. This one specifically is about Lillian Bowman, who is an American heiress who has come to England to find an aristocratic husband. And so far she hasn't had any luck because she's very headstrong, she's very stubborn. We have Marcus, who's the Earl of Westcliff. He is famous for his icy English reserve and his supreme self-control. but something about the audacious Lillian drives him mad. And we have The Madness of Lord Ian Mackenzie by Jennifer Ashley. This is a historical romance that so many people in the romance community just rave and rave about, so I'm super pumped about this one. This centers around Ian Mackenzie. He has spent most of his life in an insane asylum because he's actually on the autism spectrum, but back then they didn't know what that was, and so anybody who wasn't normal was just like thrown into asylums, and that's really awful. But I've heard nothing but phenomenal things about this. And then last but certainly not least, I have Destiny's Embrace by Beverly Jenkins. This is going to be my first Beverly Jenkins novel. Also, I did want to quickly add that these two books are going to be my first Jennifer Ashley and Elizabeth Hoyt novels as well. But this one is about Mariah Cooper. She moves to California to be a housekeeper, but the man that she is a housekeeper for is very arrogant, and so this sounds like it's going to be like an enemies to lovers kind of situation, so that sounds really fun. Beverly Jenkins tends to write romances that take place in the United States in like the Wild West times. I think I'm gonna go eat some lunch and then get started on some cleaning, because I have definitely been putting that off for the past couple of months because work was actually kind of crazy in June and July. So I use that as an excuse to just not clean my room or my bathroom. So yeah, with that being said, I will update you guys later. All right, so it is just about 7 o'clock and I just finished Scandalous Desires by Elizabeth Hoyt. I'm giving this 4 stars. I really enjoyed it. Something that I noticed about Elizabeth Hoyt's writing style that is very unique to me is that she incorporated other POVs into the story. Like, it wasn't just Michael and Silence's POVs. She also incorporated like side characters such as Silence's brother Winter. He had a POV throughout, and the villain who's just known as the Vicar, he also had a POV, and I feel like that added a lot to the story without taking too much away from the romance. And I also just feel like the drama and the action was balanced really well with the romance between Michael and Silence. I have read some historical romances where sometimes the subplots take over the romance, but I just think in this instance it was balanced really well. I am really looking forward to reading more books from this Maiden Lane series. I think there's at least like 7 or 8 books in this series. And I definitely recommend Elizabeth Hoyt if you're looking for historical romances that aren't just about the romance. This book had, like I said, quite a bit of action and adventure because there's like fight scenes and things like that throughout the book. So I think what I'm gonna do now is go eat some dinner, and then I am actually planning on jumping into It Happened One Autumn by Lisa Kleypas after that. I don't know, after reading the synopsis, I'm just so in the mood for this kind of story. I love the whole opposites attract thing, and based on what it says on the back, Lillian, the heroine, she's very stubborn and fierce, whereas Marcus, who is Lord Westcliff, he is very reserved and very serious. And yeah, I might update you guys either later tonight or tomorrow afternoon. We will just have to see. All right, good afternoon everyone. Today is Saturday. I do have a bit of an update for you guys. I read quite a bit of It Happened One Autumn last night. I think I started this around like maybe 8 p.m. last night, and I'm on page 153, and according to Goodreads, that is just about the 40% mark. So yeah, I think I'll definitely be able to finish this within the next few hours, and then I'll move on to my next read for the readathon. I'm really enjoying this so far. To me, this is like leaps and bounds better than Secrets of a Summer Night, which is the first book in this Wallflower series. The plot's really fun so far. There's actually kind of a love potion element involved, because at the beginning of the book, Lillian, who is our main character, she is an American heiress, and her younger sister Daisy, they actually go to this perfume shop because Lillian has this ability to identify different scents and perfumes and things. She goes to this perfumery with her own recipe for a perfume, and the man who runs the shop actually suggests using the essence from this like night orchid, and he calls it Lady of the Night. And so far, whenever she uses this perfume around Lord Westcliff, who's Marcus, who is the love interest, he like loses all of his senses and like immediately starts making out with her. So there's that. That's kind of a fun element of the plot. It's kind of an enemies to lovers situation because they are definitely like polar opposites in terms of personality, but at the same time, they don't like actually hate each other. I'll definitely give you guys an update once I'm finished this book. Like I said, it should probably be within the next few hours or so. All right, I feel like this is the most boring reading vlog ever. Like, guys, my life is so not interesting. Like, even if we weren't in a global pandemic right now, my life is kind of boring. So I do apologize for that. I wish that my reading vlogs were more exciting and more dynamic, but that's just not the case. That's not how my life is most of the time. So it is just about like 5:45 and I finished It Happened One Autumn by Lisa Kleypas a little while ago, and I really enjoyed this. I'm settling on giving it a 4-star rating. When I was reading the first half, I was definitely leaning towards like a 4.5 or maybe even a 5-star rating, but then as the book was going along into the second half, I did kind of feel like it lost steam a bit. It just wasn't as fun or as entertaining as the first half. I will say that there is some juicy drama that comes up towards the very end of this book, and the very end, like the last couple of pages of this, were very interesting. I'm really looking forward to reading Devil in Winter, which is the third book of this series, and so many people just rave and rave about that book in general. But given how this installment ended, I'm just really interested to see how that book plays out. But yeah, I thought overall the romance between Lillian and Marcus was very solid. Yeah, honestly, I would recommend just skipping Secrets of a Summer Night altogether and starting the series out with this, even though it's technically book 2. That first book was pretty slow and boring most of the time, and I just didn't love the romance with that book. So yeah, I definitely would recommend just starting with this one. You definitely don't need that first book for any kind of context because Lisa Kleypas basically tells you all you need to know about the couple from that book. And then I think I might actually nap for a little bit. I'm feeling a little bit tired. It's been raining like all day, so when it rains, I just want to nap. And then after that, I think I'm gonna eat some dinner and then go ahead and get started on The Madness of Lord Ian Mackenzie by Jennifer Ashley, which I am so excited about. I feel like this is going to be the one read of this readathon that I'm gonna give 5 stars. I'm totally making a 5-star prediction with this book. I am so excited about it. So yeah, you guys know the drill. I will update you guys either later tonight or at some point tomorrow. Hey everyone, I know this is like kind of creepy and weird lighting. I've been trying to adjust it, but I'm literally sitting at my desk right now. Let me just show you what I'm working with. I got my laptop here, and here is like my main source of light is this desk lamp. So yeah, I might look a little creepy right now, but it's just about like 1:45 in the morning. You guys don't know this about me, but I tend to get most of my editing and uploading work done literally in the middle of the night. So this is like prime work time for me right now. So I really need to get started editing this vlog because I haven't edited any of these clips yet. I'm pretty sure at this point I have well over 20 minutes of footage to edit. So yeah, let's just get to editing. So it is just about 7:45 p.m. on Sunday. I didn't really feel the need to update you guys before that today, but I did read the entirety of The Madness of Lord Ian Mackenzie by Jennifer Ashley between late last night and today, and I'm giving this 5 stars just like I predicted. I really enjoyed this. I will say that I wasn't completely sold on giving this 5 stars until the last 10 pages. That really sold the book for me. Before that, I was really enjoying it. I was kind of flip-flopping between like a 4 and a 4.5, but yeah, the ending was just so good. To give you a basic synopsis, I kind of talked about this at the beginning of the vlog, but this is about Ian Mackenzie. He has symptoms that would lead you to believe that he has autism spectrum disorder, but like I said, this takes place in the 1880s. They didn't have that terminology back then. Anybody who was abnormal would just be sent into an asylum, and so he spent most of his life in an insane asylum, and he was treated really poorly, like most people were treated back then, and it's really awful. So because of his traumatic experiences, he's not very trusting of people in general, but he meets this woman Beth who is a widow, and this other dude who is not so great is trying to marry her, and so Ian gives her a note to tell her, hey, this guy is kind of terrible, don't marry him, and a relationship kind of starts between the two of them. Also, this is a part of, I think, the Mackenzie Clan series by Jennifer Ashley. This is book 1, of course, and what I really loved about this book was the characters. The characters are for sure what sold this book for me. Not only Ian and Beth's character arcs, because I loved them a lot, but also the side characters of like the other brothers in Ian's family. They're also really interesting characters, and because of them, I'm really looking forward to checking out the other books of this series. Also, I was surprised to see that this isn't a slow burn. I thought it was going to be because Ian isn't very trusting of people, but he just can't deny his attraction to Beth. So they start a relationship pretty quickly. I want to say by like the 30-ish% mark, they kind of started their affair with one another, and that was very surprising to me. I was kind of worried that them getting together too early would hurt the romance, but it really doesn't, because Ian has a long way to go in terms of learning what true love is and falling in love with Beth. Beth pretty quickly falls in love with him, but he definitely has a long way to go in terms of trusting her and falling in love with her. So yeah, this was really great. Definitely recommend it. Couldn't give it less than 5 stars. Even though we technically have a few hours left of the readathon, I am going to go ahead and just finish this reading vlog here. So unfortunately, I didn't get to read Destiny's Embrace by Beverly Jenkins, but I am going to read this within the next few days because I'm really looking forward to checking out Beverly Jenkins. So I thought I would just give a quick wrap up of the 3 books that I read for this readathon. So the first one, if you will recall, was Scandalous Desires by Elizabeth Hoyt. Gave this 4 stars. I'm really looking forward to reading the other books in this series. This is the Maiden Lane series, by the way. Then we have It Happened One Autumn by Lisa Kleypas. Gave this 4 stars as well. I'm really looking forward to reading Devil in Winter because of the very end of this, like I said earlier. And then of course we have The Madness of Lord Ian Mackenzie, and I could not give this less than 5 stars. So yeah, 3 books in 3 days is not bad at all. And I just calculated how many pages I read in 3 days, and that is 1,057 pages exactly. I think that's quite a lot of pages for 3 days, and like I said, I really enjoyed all 3 of these books, so it was definitely a successful historical romance readathon for me personally. That's going to be it for this weekend reading vlog. I hope you guys enjoyed. I would love it if you would leave a comment down below if you want to discuss any of the books that I talked about in this video, or you want to discuss any of the authors or anything like that. I would also love it if you would leave a like and subscribe, and I thank you in advance if you do. And with that being said, I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye!